applications. One application we mentioned last time are ERP systems. Those are kind of the management, procurement systems for ordering raw materials, for ordering any kind of standard hardware and parts. So these Team Center and other PLM systems will interface with that. So here's an example of what we mean by configuration, managing configurations. This is an example of an Ecotech engine. It happens to be a 2.0 Ecotech engine. What vehicles in the General Motors fleet use the Ecotech 2.0 engine? Well, here's a few of them. So Opel, which is in Germany, uses the Ecotech engine. The Opel GT, also Germany, uses it. But this Max vehicle, we say Captiva or something, which is built in Holden, built by Holden in Australia, uses that same engine. Okay? In the United States, the Cobalt is built in Ohio, and it uses the Ecotech engine. And the HHR, which is built where? In Mexico, uses the Ecotech engine. So General Motors, on their Team Center servers, has one version of a 2.0 standard Ecotech engine. Now granted, they can add on a turbocharger and they can add on other engine devices and different transmissions off of this thing. So they can modify the things that attach to it. The base engine itself, there's one copy of that, and it's shared around the globe, and all of the divisions of General Motors are able to reach into the database, grab and extract that tool and that model, bring it to their site, configure it, put it into their vehicle, and release that to manufacturing. So it reduces errors, it reduces mistakes, reduces model storage, everything. So what does Team Center look like? Well, when you go to your start menu and go to applications and fire up and finally find Team Center Engineering, it will bring up a login screen that looks similar to this. Okay. So if we have an open mic. Are they wanting me to be on Skype?
They probably use it to dial the camera.
If the remote students could check their mics and make sure that it's on mute, we're getting some feedback here at BYU. It would be appreciated. So the first thing that you have to do to get into this is you have to have an ID. The user IDs will be furnished by Alan Steves at UBC. He'll provide those for us. He'll also provide our password, and he should provide groups for us to actually be in. A group is going to be nothing more than kind of the race car, the RC vehicle or team that you're actually on. It'll put up for you a folder environment where you can basically store all of your data and information. We're not going to probably do anything this semester with roles, but those could also be set up as you're the supervisor, you're the analysis lead, you're the manufacturing lead. you could have roles assigned to you, and by having those roles, it activates different parts of Team Center Engineering based on the role that you've been assigned. Without a role being put in there, it's basically you're going to have everything open to you. You're going to be able to look at the manufacturing area, you're going to be able to look at the resource area, you're going to be able to look at the modeling, the analysis, all of that. Okay? And the last item there is the only way this thing kind of comes together and works is if you're pointed at the right circle. Okay? And that information will be provided to us so that we don't get connected to the BYU TCE, but we're actually reaching back and connecting to the UBC. So you set all of that up and log in, and this screen will appear. And this is basically the handout that I passed around to the BYU students, so they have a one-page handout. For the remote students, I've shared a PDF on Team Center Community. The PDF is getting started with Team Center. If you go into that PDF and you go to page 2-6, you will find the picture that's on the screen, and it also has a breakdown of what each of the areas kind of represent. And so when you first log in and you look at this kind of header area, you'll notice that like any kind of web environment that we're familiar with, there's kind of back arrows and forward arrows. And so if you need to get back to a previous screen that you had up 2 or 3 clicks earlier, you can just do the back arrow. If you want to branch forward, you can easily branch forward on that. If you look at the second area that's been boxed here, what is that? That is the application banner. It changes based on kind of this side column, this left column. It changes based on which application you've actually gone into. And so we'll see in a few slides when we pop it up that once we get into my Team Center, one of the things that'll be in this area right here is going to be an icon to start an X, or an icon to start CATIA, or an icon to start one of the other engineering applications that we have linked in. Okay? So this number 2 area is constantly changing depending on what environment you're actually going into. In the third area, right here is a simple little search. You can type in an actual part name. So you've been working for a week and a half on what you call engine. You go into the Team Center Engineering, you start looking around, you can't find it. Okay? It's buried in amongst 300 other files, and you can't find specifically what you're looking for. You can simply type in the name of the part or a portion of that name, and you say, go and search for it. And it will go and look through the database for anything that has engine in there. Okay? Now, it may be this semester that when you do that, you may end up getting the engine part from every other team showing up also. Right now, we haven't set up the security to kind of lock you out of everybody else's space. To do that is a little bit problematic, and we didn't want to do that, so it may be that you find what just happened. That doesn't look good. fluorescent, just that one.